Hello friends and welcome to the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today we have been introduced to the Sith Marauder. Now for those of you who've been able to log on today, then you know you've been able to play with him and kind of get his character down. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't make a video earlier of this, because I wouldn't have some of the footage that I'm going to be showing you today. And really what I wanted to do is come up with a series of places where you could use the Sith Marauder or try him out. And, and I have come up with some really fun ones. But with that, I want to speculate, or just talk about kind of the event as a whole and what we got from this latest marquee event. And just my feelings on it and so forth. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, like, and share these videos. I'm grateful for everything. I will say today it marks the 1-year anniversary that I posted my first YouTube video. It may say something that I posted it on Valentine's Day, but with that, I do want to just go ahead and jump right into it and take our first look at the event and really want to talk about what the event looked like. To me, I really liked it. It's cool to see the way that these events do get played out. Now, the Shadow of Malachor event had 4 different phases. If you were able to unlock all 4 phases, or at least the first 3 tiers of each phase, within the event, you were able to unlock Sith Marauder at 3-star, I believe. Maybe it was 2-star. You got 50 shards, whatever that gave you. I think it was right at 2-star. What was really cool is, one, we're fighting the Sith we're fighting the Jedi in the Jedi Temple. This was a really cool event for me. Not necessarily because it meant anything, but because my speculative mind took it to mean everything. I thought this could have been any number of signals, any number of signs. I mean, we went up against a number of different tunes that I really would like to be added to the game. That Jedi, the Temple Guard, he's sweet. I want him added. And then I want, a Sith Inquisitor added as well. That would be sweet, in honor of Star Wars Rebels ending so soon. But the Temple Guard looks really cool. They go down pretty easy. They're not very strong, and if you had a decent Sith team at all, this was a fairly easy battle for you. Now, when I say decent, I know there's a lot of new players out there who don't have a lot of Sith. They don't have their Sith built up. And it makes sense. Up until this point, there hasn't been a lot of Sith love. And I get that. When I mean a decent team, really any marquee event is doable or completable if you have your characters geared between gear levels 8 and gear level 10. Obviously, the higher gear level you're going to have, the better chance you are to complete it. But everything that I've seen, every attempt that I've had from the Phoenix squad to this is gear 10 and above, and you will be okay. Now, the bonus tier was a little disappointing for me, but one of the things that I love about this game is when there's enough outcry, when there is enough backlash, when people really take to the community leaders, when they take to the developers and say, this is my opinion, I really do believe that they are listened to. No, not all the time and not as immediately as we'd like. Obviously, it's been 2 years and this is the first time we've seen a Sith rework. But really, when they hear us, guys, and I know when we raise our voice to them, I think they listen to us. Now, the thing that was so frustrating about this is we got these really crappy gear pieces after this bonus event, right? So if you had worked your way through, you got these pieces of gear that sucked. They just weren't good. And on top of that, you got one mod, which was okay, but not great by any means. But what they did is they sent out a post, a letter saying, hey, we made a mistake, right? They updated the forums and said, hey, we get it. We understand. And in return, here's 3 mods. And I thought that was really cool. I think that's, now they're not this way all the time with everything, and I get that, but it is cool when it happens. I like when there's a screw up. I like when there's a glitch, because it often means that more crystals are coming, and who doesn't need more crystals? Because I sure do. The thing that I like about this is Sith fighting in the Jedi Temple. I mean, if that's foreshadowing, kudos. Kudos to you, EA and CG. Kudos. If it's not, damn you. Now, the next thing that I look for in a toon, or the next thing that I look at when it comes to any character, especially one that has synergy with some really strong characters like Lord Vader, is how do they do in the Rancor raid? Now, this to me is a litmus test as to, is it going to be effective? Is this toon going to be useful? Does the synergy work properly? Now, I gotta say, the first thing that really pisses me off, he's not hitting for the amount of damage that we really saw him hit for in the footage that was released a couple of weeks ago. And that's disappointing, but with the Wampa, with the Marauder, they do make pretty short work of the pigs in the first round. They are able to do some pretty solid damage to the Rancor throughout, as we are able to stack the damage over time, over and over and over again. Sith Marauder does start to pick up more and more and more damage. It's not a ton. I think he maxed out at like 35 or 40. And that was like way late into each phase. But for the most part, he was really only doing about, I don't know, 15 to 20 on a crit.
A few minutes later.
And I do have some pretty solid mods on him. They aren't the best mods ever, but they're still pretty good. Now, I could have had more synergy with another Sith in the works. I wanted to try Yoda. I wanted to try a few other characters, and I did. But this was the one that I was able to put on auto and just forget about. Now, I've got or Darth Vader, Yoda, got Sith Marauder, Wampa, and then Grand Moff Tarkin. And again, these toons are all geared out to Gear 12. All of their abilities are modded or zated where possible. They're all omegaed, where not. And they're solid, but are they solid enough, right? I mean, again, if you have a Vader, if you have a Grand Moff Tarkin, this probably is stuff that you've already put on those Zetas are probably Zetas you've already put on them. But is it enough? And that's a question that I've really asked myself. But I'm going to jump to some of my more entertaining battles in the arena, because I'm curious. I'm very curious as to how the Sith Marauder is going to handle. And I've got to say, guys, that some of the times the Sith Marauder does really well with a Sith team. They rock. The synergy is super effective. Sometimes it is not. I will say that the one thing that I've noticed on all of the offensive Sith Marauder team, there is a point where it can become detrimental to have him on. And what I noticed was when they had a tank that forced my attackers to a taunting take, that was something that was really difficult for me to get over. Now, in this first battle I'm going to be showing you, this is a Vader team against the Rebels. I believe, actually, I am using Palpatine as my lead. It's Palpatine, Vader, Kenobi, Sith Marauder, Thrawn against Rebels. This is a pretty solid team. I don't remember whose I'm going up against with here, but it is one of the game changers. I'm able to really take out Baze pretty quickly, and because of Chase's bonuses, because of the way that he throws on heal, that does give me quite a bit of boost with Sith Marauder. But it doesn't really give me a ton to make this so incredibly feasible. It is impressive how quickly my characters are able to take out this team, because it goes down pretty fast. And before you know it, the game is essentially over. I was impressed at how good the Sith Marauder team did against the Night Sisters. I just cut through them like a knife through hot butter. This is, again, same team setup. Again, everyone is zated. Everyone is geared out. It is a very, very quick match. Now, I'm looking at this. It is, I throw on the Force Crush. I take out Old Daka first. Then I think I take out Talzin. I wanted to try to stun Talzin. The the Kenobi's, aggressive attack, the one where everyone gets to go, is very beneficial to take out those two reviving characters. Now, I was lucky that when Kenobi died, he died at a time when it was my turn and not theirs, and so a Night Sister character didn't have to come back, and that was very beneficial for me. Moving on, again, First Order, very impressed. This is a First Order team with both Kylo Ren's First Order TIE Pilot and a Phasma lead. Maybe had they used a different lead, there may have been a more effective, they would have had a more effective chance, a more effective defense against me. Phasma is a fine lead, especially for beginners, but she is not necessarily the best First Order lead currently. Still good, still great in a lot of situations, but not the best. Now here's the thing, guys, and this is the part that I want to show you the most. When with all new characters, I'm going to put them through what I call the Endorian test. Now the Endorian test is essentially just, can they hold up against my Ewoks? Now this is a fully maxed out Chief Chirpa team. I've got a Chirpa team, I've got an Ewok Elder, I've got an Ewok Scout, and I've got the character Wicket and Tebow. So it's one of my favorite teams to play against this this team that I've just showed you. I was wondering, I was like, can I defeat this, right? I initially tried this team with a Poplu makeup, and it just didn't work as effectively with the OG Ewoks. I'm telling you guys, OG Ewoks are viable. I know a lot of you don't like it, but they are good. I don't know if they're top tier good, but they're a solid team. And I take out Kenobi. I'm on my way to take out Sith Marauder. I'm doing a solid amount of damage. I'm doing some turn meter. The key here, guys, really is, does the Ewok Elder survive long enough to keep everyone alive, or are you able to kill people fast enough to keep your own team alive? Now, turn meter reduction is huge. Stealth is a huge bonus, a huge get with the Ewoks. And guys, I just gotta say, the Ewoks won. That's awesome. Now, here's the thing. This got me thinking. If the Ewoks win here, where else could the Ewoks win? I'm not trying to make this video about Ewoks, because, again, like I pointed out earlier, really the key to any Sith Marauder team is there a character that forces a taunt? That makes it so this can't be an auto attack. That makes it so you have to be way more strategic. Here I'm facing off against the Shore Trooper and Wampa, and I just can't get that taunt away from Shore Trooper. I lose Chirpa right off the bat, pretty quickly into it, and I gotta say, I wasn't hopeful for this. I mean, man, my Ewoks just got hosed, and the longer the fight went on, especially with that Wampa, the more damage was done, and it just a little over a minute, and my Ewoks were toast. And so I wanted to see how my Ewoks would work with Sith Marauder in tow. And why I was laughing at the beginning of this video is specifically because of this battle. Guys, I love Ewoks. I've made no secret of that, but I have to say that this was one of the most fun teams that I have ever played. Now, I noticed that the Ewoks are a pretty solid team. I do love the fact that Chirpa's his leadership ability doesn't only help or bless the Ewoks, but it helps really anyone else. And so here I am going up against a General Kenobi, Yoda, Ghost Yoda or pre-Ghost Yoda, and I had to put this on mute, guys, because I was laughing so hard at how effective this is. It is wonderful, because every time that Marauder goes out of his basic attack, he does offense down. And again, This is pretty much the OG setup. We've got Chirpa, we've got Wicket. Guys, I love Ewok Scout. He's awesome. He's still one of my favorite characters. I have my entire second account roster geared out and maxed. He's dead last in power and galactic power overall. And he's got some of the best mods I have, but still he is dead last. And he helps do a ton of damage. Now again, I wasn't able to test this out against a team that had taunting character, and so I will play around with this a little more, and I'll pin a comment in the section above to let you guys know what I find out, because you better believe that I will be testing this team out against the meta, because it was hella fun to play, guys. Overall, is the Marauder worth the hype? I think time will tell. It's really hard to say that you should be soaking your money into this. I know a lot of people are excited to, and I think that it really does depend. If the Marauder has a tank with him, next to him, beside him, whatever you want to say, I think that he's going to do some serious damage. I'm curious to see how Nihilus and the Marauder work together. I'm curious to know what is left for the rest of the month. We still don't know. We are only halfway through, and I think that he could be great. I think that on the right team, he could be incredibly effective. I do not want to say that the Marauder is a letdown just yet. Let's wait to see how the rest of the month plays out. We only have 2 more weeks. Then I'll give you a more solid answer whether I like him or not. I am hesitantly saying that he is good. I will not be buying the packs or the bundle. I almost did, guys. I really almost did. But that's just too many crystals, and that's too much money for me. I will wait till he becomes farmable. But I may regret that, because he has the potential to be great, depending on what character comes next. And with that, guys, I will leave you. What do you think about this latest event? Do you like it? Were you let down? Were you disappointed? I know there's a lot of mixed feelings out there. Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, stay nerdy.